Hello, and welcome to the Cosmic Calendar. My name is Susan, and this channel is all about living in harmony with the rhythms of the universe. Each month, we'll explore the major lunar phases, planetary movements, and astrological influences shaping the collective energy, helping you understand what's unfolding and how you can work with these cosmic cycles rather than against them. These monthly forecasts include new moon and full moon readings, guided meditations, zodiac seasons, and collective guidance to support you throughout the year. So, whether you're here for insight, reflection, meditation, or simply a deeper connection with the moon and the stars, you're in exactly the right place. Today, I'm going to be talking about Virgo season 2026, and I've called it the sacred art of becoming. As the warmth and boldness of Leo season begins to soften, we find ourselves crossing another threshold, and the sun moves into Virgo, and the energy around us begins to change. Leo asks us to shine. It asks us to remember who we are, to connect with our courage, our creativity, and the desires of our heart. But Virgo asks something different. Virgo looks at everything we've discovered about ourselves and gently asks, what are you going to do with it? Because knowing what we want is one thing, creating a life that reflects it is something else entirely. And perhaps this is the invitation of Virgo season, to begin turning inspiration into intention and intention into action. Virgo is an earth sign. It's grounded, it's practical, it's observant. Virgo notices the details others might overlook. It reminds us that life isn't only found in the enormous milestones, the new job, the new relationship, the new home, the great achievement, but life is happening in all those ordinary moments in between. It's a cup of tea you make in the morning, the conversation with somebody you love, the decision to go outside instead of scrolling through your phone, the meal you prepare, the boundaries you finally put in place, the 10 minutes you spend sitting quietly and just listening, the decision to begin again. Virgo teaches us something incredibly powerful. Small things matter. Because small things repeated often enough become our lives. But Virgo energy has a shadow side too, which is perfectionism. The voice that whispers, you should be doing more. You should have achieved more by now. Everybody else seems to have figured it out. Why haven't you? And if this voice sounds familiar, perhaps Virgo season is offering you an opportunity to change the conversation. Instead of asking, why haven't I there yet? Try asking, how far have I already travelled? Think about the person you were a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Go back and look at your photos 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and a year ago. Think about everything that you did and everything that you knew, you didn't know, and you thought you knew. Think about everything you survived, everything you learnt, everything you let go of, everything you rebuilt. Perhaps you haven't been standing still at all. Perhaps when you look at it, you've been growing quietly. There's something particularly powerful about Virgo season this year because we arrive here following the intensity of the Leo Solar Eclipse on the 12th of August. And eclipses often illuminate turning points. They can bring something into our awareness that we can no longer ignore. A desire, a truth, a relationship, a dream, or perhaps simply the knowledge that something needs to change. Then, just days into the Virgo season, we reach the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces on the 28th of August. Pisces sits opposite Virgo in the zodiac chart, and this creates a fascinating spiritual conversation because Virgo wants a plan and Pisces wants trust. Virgo wants to understand and Pisces wants to believe. Virgo says, tell me what I need to do. And Pisces replies, you don't need to know everything yet. And somewhere between the two lies wisdom. Perhaps this is one of the greatest lessons Virgo season can offer us. There are things within our control and there are things that aren't. We can decide what time we get out of bed. We can decide how we speak to ourselves. We can decide where we place our energy. We can decide whether we keep repeating the same pattern or try something else. But we cannot control other people. Can't control every outcome. Can't predict everything that lies ahead. And sometimes, being Virgo, we exhaust ourselves trying. So Virgo season asks us, what belongs to you and what doesn't? And do what belongs to you and let go of the rest. There's another beautiful layer to Virgo energy. Historically, this part of the year is connected with harvest. The fields begin giving back what was planted months earlier. And spiritually, we can think of our lives in exactly the same way. What have you been planting this year? Is it courage, boundaries, creativity, independence, forgiveness? Perhaps you've been planting something nobody else can see yet. And sometimes that's difficult because we live in a world that celebrates results, but rarely celebrates becoming. We celebrate the book being published, not the morning spent writing it. We celebrate someone changing their lives, not the hundreds of tiny decisions that happened beforehand. Virgo honors those invisible moments, the work nobody applauses, the choices nobody sees, the quiet decision to say, I'm going to keep going. Virgo season is also a wonderful time for clearing. And that might mean clearing your physical surroundings. Open the cupboards, clear those drawers you've been avoiding. Give away the clothes you haven't worn for months or even years. Delete what you don't need. Clear your emails. Create some breathing space. But we can declutter emotionally too. What are you simply carrying because you've carried it for years? Is it an old resentment? Expectation that your mother or your father had on you? A version of yourself that you've outgrown? A mistake you've never forgiven yourself for? Sometimes we become so accustomed to carrying something that we forgot we're allowed to put it down. Imagine carrying a heavy suitcase everywhere with you. Eventually, somebody might ask, "What's inside?" And you might realise you don't actually know anymore. You've simply become accustomed to carrying it. Virgo season invites us to open the suitcase and look inside and decide what still belongs. Virgo is also traditionally associated with service, helping, supporting, being useful. And these are beautiful qualities. But there is an important question here. Can you care for others without abandoning yourself? Some of us become very good at noticing what everyone else needs. We know who's struggling. We know who needs help, reassurance, who needs listening to. But when somebody asks, "What do you need?" I don't know how to answer. Perhaps this season is about learning. Your needs matter too. Rest isn't something you earn once you've finished everything else, because everything is never finished. There will always be another email, another job, another person to look after, another problem, another tomorrow. You're allowed to rest inside an unfinished life. And perhaps there's something else we need to release this Virgo season. The belief that happiness exists somewhere in the future. I'll be happy when I've lost the weight. I've earned enough money. I'm married and I've got kids. I've moved house. When I've retired. When I've sorted myself out. But the thing is, life keeps moving. And eventually we realize something. There's never a finishing line. There's only today. So instead of constantly trying to become a better version of yourself, perhaps becoming more present with the version that's already here. Because that person deserves your love too. As we move through the weeks ahead, perhaps take these questions with you. Maybe put them in your journal and think about them. What am I ready to simplify? Where am I expecting perfection instead of progress? What small habit would make my life feel better? Where is my energy being wasted? And what am I carrying that no longer belongs to me? And perhaps the most important one, what would my life look like if I stopped believing I needed to fix it? Sit with that one. What would my life look like if I stopped believing I needed to fix it? Because sometimes transformation isn't about becoming something new or someone new. Sometimes transformation is simply removing everything that convinced us we weren't enough in the first place. You are enough. So as we enter Virgo season 2026, don't worry about reinventing your entire life. Just choose one thing. One drawer, one habit, one conversation, one dream, one promise to yourself, and begin there. Allow Virgo to remind you that small beginnings are still beginnings. Allow the Pisces eclipse to remind you that you don't have to understand everything that's happening. And allow yourself to trust that some of the seeds you've planted are already growing beneath the surface. You don't need to dig them up every morning to see if they're working. Give them time. Give yourself time. Do what you can and release what you cannot control. Trust what is unfolding. Perhaps the season isn't about becoming perfect. Perhaps it's about becoming present, becoming intentional, becoming kinder to yourself, and slowly, gently, becoming more of who you already are. Welcome to Virgo season. Now, if you enjoyed today's cosmic calendar, each month you'll find new moon and full moon readings, guided meditation, zodiac seasons, and remember, you don't have to be a Virgo to listen to this. And there's lots more on the channel. So if you'd like to journey through the year with me, don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, follow the moon, understand the energy. Thank you. Bye.